there's too much at stake. Feel like dark skies, sharpen the blade, making no mistake.
Look absolutely gorgeous.
Don't lie to me, but it's okay. The hardest thing is to stay positive even when your world is crashing around you. It's hard when you have to still find the inner strength to keep going even when things are not going well. So at this point, I got my results. I end up having 14 eggs, 4 embryos. And due to the fact that I'm doing this by myself with a sperm donor, I decided to take things in my own hands and continue to do the genetic testing. Now that I did the genetic testings, my embryo was made, and now it got to the point where it's 5 days, 6 days later, and they tell me that all my embryos died doing genetic testing. Now, I asked myself, I think I did everything right. I did all the shots on time. I invested the time that I needed. So why is it that nothing happened? Like, where did I go wrong? So now I have to come back to the drawing board, find a place where that I can go back and see where I went wrong to see what I need to do to better the situation. But it's very hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel when everything is not working out right. So now I'm here in Costa Rica, and I'm here to try to see how I can keep myself in a positive state and also find strength to continue my journey. So I came here, I purchased an apartment here in Costa Rica for an Airbnb, because I promised myself that if I have children that I will try to have as much time with them as I can. So I'm trying to build other avenues of income so that I don't have to be doing overtime and working extra hours. I can just have money coming in from every angle. So I told myself I'm gonna take a break, pause, come back to the drawing board, and find where I went wrong. And I think one of my major parts that I went wrong is working so much hours. Like, I really did not rest. It was endless working a lot, and I didn't really get a chance to do the things that I needed to do. So I made some real crazy, drastic decisions, but everything worked out for the best. Now that I'm here, maybe I should be more transparent to why I made my decisions. While I was going through this whole ordeal, after I found out that I lost the embryos, you sit back, I pray to God and I ask God to open all the doors that I need to get open and give me a clear wisdom and a clear mind of what I'm doing. Like, I wanted to make sure that I'm doing this correct. I didn't want to do this in the wrong space. So I decided to leave corrections, which is a hard thing because you got to understand, this is where I'm getting all my funding, all the money from. This is the place where I'm getting the insurance that I need to get all these procedures done. But when I did my investigation and I digged into things that I needed to do, I knew that I can do it even without them. But I know that was a major part of the reason why nothing worked out. I was really drained, like overworking, doing so much. And I felt like if I really wanted this, when you really want something, you put 120. And I knew that I needed to make the necessary steps to make sure that I made this happen for myself. I always told myself I'm gonna be the author of my own story. I'm not gonna allow nothing to be the author of my story anymore. The hardest thing is knowing that you put in a lot of work into something and everything crumbles. Like, I felt like I did all the work that I needed. I did my shots on time. I went to every doctor's appointment. I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I was a little late looking for my sperm, but I thought that was a very big decision for me, so I kind of took my time with that. But besides that, I think I did everything right, and it sucks to know that you did all of that work and get nothing, like nothing, not even one baby saved, nothing. But I told myself, a lot of things don't happen exactly how you want it, so the main things to do to fix it and see what you could do to be better. And I tell people all the time, self-preservation is very important. Like, you gotta make sure that you take care of yourself. And I felt like in this situation, I didn't. Like, I was so busy trying to get this done that I forgot how important it is to have your body healthy, mentally and physically, when you're going through this process, because it's very hard. Think about it. I'm working 16-hour shifts, still running, doing salon things. In between that, going to the doctor every 3 days. That's a lot. You have to sacrifice something to get the things that you want. And I wasn't trying to sacrifice anything. And I think this is why the results didn't work out how it's supposed to. So I had to make drastic decisions to make sure that I make this happen for me. Like, I was not gonna allow nothing to stop this from happening where it needs to be. If you are doing this IVF process like me, you really have to go to the drawing board and figure out what is it that you need to do to change in your life to make sure that you have everything on a smooth sailing. Like, your mental health has to be correct, your body healthy, your mind has to be in a positive space, because if you're all over the place, there's no way that you can make this happen when your mind is all over the place. You really have to make sure that you're in the right mindset. And that's where I went wrong. I was busy doing everything else other than focusing on what I needed to focus on. And this time, I'm not gonna do this wrong. I'm gonna make sure that I take my time, cut out all the things that is necessarily not important for me, and make sure I make this happen for myself. Because if I want something, you gotta work hard for it. But I'm doing what I need to do. So now I figured out that I was so busy chasing money that I wasn't focusing on myself. So now I'm trying to figure out what other avenues of income I can have other than me overworking myself. And I'm doing my proper and right investments for me. But it's not easy. It's very expensive. You gotta think about it. Now I just spent all that money for genetic testing. I spent all the money for the sperm. So now I gotta go back again and go back and spend all this money again, back again for genetic testing, back again for the sperm. And it's not guaranteed that's gonna happen. So we're gonna make sure whatever money we're spending it right, and we're making sure that you do all the proper things that's supposed to happen. And I think that I'm ready. Like, I had to bring back myself here to put myself in the right space, and had to leave that job. I'm starting to work a new job that has more something positive that I want to do more, and everything is looking up from here. So like I said, it's not easy. Finding a way out of nowhere is really hard, but I promise you, once you take that leap of faith, anything can happen. If you haven't gotten too familiar with my story and where my journey came from 22 to now, please go back to my interview videos, look at them, so you can kind of get an idea of why I'm so adamant of doing this. You're probably looking at this video like, this girl is crazy. Why is she doing this IVF by herself, spending all this money? She gotta be out her mind. But I promise, I'm writing my own story. I am not waiting for no one to make my story for me. So please go back to those interview videos, check them out, and see how that goes. But listen, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can get more familiar with what's going on with my story. I'll see you in the next video.